Bangladesh has certainly been a exciting model for international buyers and also from a strategic standpoint in terms of understanding how the importance and how the industry grew up in Bangladesh and the importance of it. Globally, I think it's definitely time for Bangladesh to spend time in diversifying production using different raw materials.
And we always see that in Bangladesh there is a buyer syndrome. We adopt technology when buyer pushes us. We are never on the leadership side of implementing innovation or developing innovation. We are always the follower. I asked this few years back to the president of BASIS, which is the Bangladesh software associations represent the software sector, IT sector. They couldn't tell that how much software we import in Bangladesh and the value of, but all of our garment factories are using different type of software. And we have got plenty of universities with computer science degrees. We have never focused on developing software tools, homegrown software tools or homegrown IT tools for our apparel industry. Instead, when it comes to government's focus, I would say this is one of the key areas they can prioritize that will support both our IT sector as well as the apparel sector to develop and modifying existing software tools or developing new tools that will fit our apparel industry better, and also bringing the expert from the IT sectors and garment sector together so that we can develop tools and systems that will enhance the creativity, design development, production efficiency, and the sustainability aspects indices.
When I invested by myself, I also found that it is very interesting that I can save a lot of money. I mean, by investing on solar panel, I invest on the recycling the water, recycling the wastages I'm generating from the cutting room, and I'm converting to the new yarn and all the things. That all are saving money and also creating value on the when I'm selling to them, to the customers. Because sustainability is not only tool that is saving your money, but also it is creating a marketing tool for us. Because when I are going to the brands, it becomes another tool for us to saying that, hey, this is not the product we are doing, but we also have this and this kind of things to talk about, and this storyline is also a good selling point to us. So most of the cases we always talk about the price, but if we can add those values in the ecosystem, then actually we can create more value, and then we can create a long-term partnership with the buyers. That is the missing part. I think we are really not practicing, I mean, in general.
This is very important. We need a very competent graduates fit for the RMG industry. We need to ship these items to value-added items like medical textiles, military textiles, aeronautical textiles, technical textiles. So these need to be concentrated, and we are revising the curriculum, introducing step by step in the syllabus, and accordingly they are well aware of the new changes, new development in the industry.
Together with our panelists' view, so that we have some sort of discussion which will be inclusive, and we would like to share those views together for our future course of action. Thank you very much. So let's begin with the academic perspective. I think it is important as Bangladesh reimagining its RMG future, education and skills development will play a pivotal set from within the industry and so on. So my very first question, therefore, is to Professor Dr. Engineer Ayub Nabi Khan. As the acting Vice Chancellor of BUFT, which is the leading training institute and academic institution in Bangladesh promoting fashion and technology. And as a long-time educator as well, you are the Vice Chancellor, you are a long-time educator in fashion and textiles. How do you see academia driving the shift from a volume-based to a value-based model in Bangladesh RMG sector? Professor Ayub Nabi Khan, please.
Thank you very much. It is a very important question to me, actually. As you rightly mentioned that I've been associated with education institution for a long time, especially in BGMEA University. I have been working for nearly 14 years now, from its inception. I've been associated with this university, with our trustee board member, with industry, and all these things. And as you also know, we have also good partnership with foreign universities also. The thing is that this is very important. We need a very competent graduates for fit for the RMG industry, and we are working on that. And BGMEA University is one of the unique university having a unique curriculum because all our trustee board members are from the industry. They have group of industries. They have the the industrialists. They have all primary textile sector as well as the garments, finishing, dyeing. All industries are under guided by all these trustee board member, and they are also the member of the BGMEA, one of the leading association in Bangladesh, who's representing more than 4,000 garments industries. And as per their need, because they know what type of graduates they want from the industry, and what are the changes going on in the industry. And accordingly, we are designing the curriculum, and we have that approval from the government and as well as the UGC. And we introduced this curriculum in our university, and now we are running 22 programs, including undergraduates, postgraduates, certificate courses, and also some short courses with the collaboration of Ministry of Commerce, skill development courses, and also with Ministry of Finance, which is supported by Asian Development Bank funded activities. So, and in these courses, because curriculum change is a little bit difficult, though you need to send it to the UGC. This is a bureaucratic problem. So what we do, we introduce some short courses. In these courses, we include 3D fashion design courses. We introduce AI-based some courses, which is associated with RMG's process machineries, and also some robotics. These things we introduce in the courses, and graduates are getting involved in these courses with the know-how of the modern technology, which is nowadays used in RMG sector. So this way we are running, and you see, as far as the value addition is concerned, because Bangladesh is mainly based on basic garments, and basic garments is the 3-7 items: t-shirt, the shirt, the pants, and all these things, trousers. These things we are producing, concentrating, but we need to ship our these items to value-added items like medical textiles, military textiles, aeronautical textiles, technical textiles. So these need to be concentrated, and we are revising the curriculum, introducing step by step in the syllabus, and accordingly they are well aware of the new changes, new development in the industry. And moreover, another important things I need to mention here, because we have a very good collaboration with foreign partners like Germany government funded project we did a couple of years ago. We completed. This is called HASTE project, Higher Education for Sustainable Textiles, because we are also aware of what is going on sustainability, because our ready-made garments industries, textile industries are very much aware of that, because so everybody, the buyers and all these things, the foreign buyers, they are also looking for this. And there are some changes in European Union policies, the digital passport, these areas we are introducing in the curriculum. So the students are well aware of these new areas. And also we are concentrating on recycle, how the recycle, waste recycle can be utilized to, that is another value addition we can do. And we have completed recently with Netherlands, with RAVO Netherlands, and also the Embassy of Netherlands in Bangladesh, completed the hackathon project, textile circularity hackathon. And And also we completed another important projects with Netherlands, that is on CSR education. We have 17 master trainer. They have completed their master level diploma from Nine Dot Business University of Netherlands, and we have some partnership with Netherlands University, Germany. So these are the areas we've completed so far. 8 foreign funded projects. We have good partnership with the RMIT. Some of our students are studying masters, and one of our faculty members are carrying out PhD in the RMIT, and I also the external examiner of some of the PhD student of RMIT University. So with these things, we are always trying to achieve how best we can give to the industry. And nowadays, if you see the statistics, the foreign experts are not that much coming, which we found for 3, 4, 5 years ago. So our graduates are engaging in different industry, buying houses. Say, for example, the Swapna Bhumik is a student of BUFT. In H&M, our students are working in very good position. JC Penney, our students are working. Next, our students are working, our graduates are working. Some of them are entrepreneur, classic natural company, one company called, and one of our students, he's doing very good, exporting the items, natural items to Europe especially. And most of the cases every year he's getting the national award for his achievements. So these are the few things I mentioned. Maybe later stage of this discussion, I can also add some of the areas during our discussion later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was very enlightening, and I think one important thing that you have just mentioned at the end of your response, that many of your graduates are now replacing expatriate managers and technical people, and that is something very, very promising, very encouraging, because we have been spending quite a bit of money every year on expatriate managers and technical staff. So thank you, Professor Khan, for those insightful points about transforming our talent pipeline. Now I would like to move to the global marketplace from the academia, from training and skills. We know that Bangladesh's strength lies in its manufacturing excellence, but in a world of demanding more responsible and value-driven supply chains, how do you stay competitive beyond price? So it is not, we should not actually rely only on low cost or mass production and the fast fashion. So in this regard, I would like to request our international expert and very respectable, person with a lot of knowledge, Mr. Robert Antoshak, to present his view on how Bangladesh can strengthen its position in international supply chain while focusing on higher value, sustainable production, rather than competing on low costs. Mr. Bob Antoshak.
Thank you, Mr. Sharif, and thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to have a conversation with you today about about some of the global markets. Bangladesh has certainly been a exciting model for international buyers, and also from a strategic standpoint in terms of understanding how the importance and how the industry grew up in Bangladesh and the importance of it. Globally, I think it's definitely time for Bangladesh to spend time on diversifying production and diversifying production using different raw materials, as well as incorporating essential aspects of sustainable production and value-added production. So let's step back and look at just garments for the moment, and then we can switch to some other things. But garments for the moment, I feel it's more important for Bangladesh to diversify, or I should say, develop a more Bangladesh-centric supply chain within the country. So raw materials, instead of being so as reliant out of necessity that Bangladesh has been to import, raw materials from other countries, particularly yarns and fabrics. It's probably to the point where the economies of scale would probably be enhanced by having more verticalization within the country. Certainly, there's some of that now. I'm not saying there's not, but I think growing on that could be very important. Secondly, I think using, and this will get into a comment I'll have about industrial fabrics. I think it's very important for Bangladesh to also develop a value-added industry that is outside of just garment making. And I think that's essential. And along with that comes synthetic fiber production that is local. And to support that, all the strides that have been made on infrastructure within the country over the years, and understand, I've been coming to Bangladesh, I go back to the quota days, the old MFA. Okay, so I've seen the change, and it's quite dramatic and very exciting, and a lot to be proud of. But I think we're at a stage now where the industry is evolved, it's evolving, and I think by bringing in more synthetics, but also more product that's just not garments. Garments is terrific, but there's home textiles, and definitely industrial fabrics, which I feel would be important. And the reason I suggest these is that the garment business is going to be a very price-sensitive area for everyone for the foreseeable future. Certainly, as long as this crazy tariff stuff is going on, it will be even especially more price-sensitive for everyone for obvious reasons. But beyond that, I think it's important for the Bangladesh industry to diversify within its own boundaries, within its own technical expertise. I certainly ascribe to the notion of expanding the educational base within Bangladesh to train the people who will be necessary to help take the industry into the next decade and beyond. I think that's an essential element and critical to the success of the long-term success of the overall industry. Garments is a terrific start. Certainly, Bangladesh has made its mark known in the world. It has been very successful at it. But there's also opportunities for Bangladesh to tap its natural creativity, natural manufacturing prowess, to move into other products at an accelerated rate above and beyond garments, which will take time. Certainly, there's some of that now, but I'm talking about, accelerating that. Because again, the markets for non-apparel are significant, and they have a different price dynamic as opposed to garments. So as I look at it, it really comes down to a class of becoming, or a case of becoming more self-sufficient from the supply chain internally, and then diversification of product, and along with that, bringing in an extra level of expertise or training the level of expertise within the country, within the educational systems. I think that's really critical. And then in turn, continue the strides that have been made in enhancing and boosting the infrastructure that will be especially necessary if the industry is moving on to different types of value-added products. And that will help the industry in the long run avoid a price trap that so many countries get caught in, where they're constantly chasing pennies, where instead they should be chasing, hopefully, dollars or taka. Okay. So, and with that, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I think you provided a very comprehensive overview of what is happening in the global market and how Bangladesh can actually move forward in this volatile environment where price is almost everything. I'm just wondering though, what role do you see strategic partnership and transparency could play in helping global buyers recognize the value embedded in Bangladesh's apparel export?
I think a proactive approach, I think it's a great question. I think a proactive approach to find those partners, either through partner organizations initially or beyond that to certain specific companies, where people can actually see, buyers can actually see that many of the things they ask for when they first meet suppliers is what's their traceability, what's their sustainability, what's their, these are all things that are required. Okay. And, what are the labor practices? What are the, what's the infrastructure looks like? How's delivery? All these basics, all that can be explained through a partnership program, maybe a formal partnership program with certain organizations to start, and then growing into individual companies depending on the area. So I think that would be very helpful.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you, Rob. I think, and thanks for your insight about this very, very special issue. Now we should look at the next frontier that is shaping the future, not only the RMG sector, but I think the world. When we talk about digital technology, when we talk about AI, it is a mind-boggling development that has been happening worldwide now. We all talk about that. And when we refer to value over volume, I think AI and digital technology has a lot to do. So from design to production, technology is redefining how we create, connect, and compete in the global marketplace these days. In other words, digital transformation is reshaping every part of fashion. I think everybody will agree with that. Dr. Abu Sadat Muhammad Sayem, you have an enviable expertise in digital fashion innovation. Please tell us how digital design, virtual sampling, and data analytics contribute to a more value-oriented RMG ecosystem in Bangladesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. When we talk about digital fashion and Bangladesh together, I see an immense opportunity for Bangladesh. As all of you know, when it comes to Bangladesh apparel industry, Bangladesh apparel export, traditionally we do the cutting and sewing job, the tailoring job. Now for the knitwear industry, we are producing the materials as well. So for knitwear industry, it is to some extent material, then cutting, sewing, and export. But at no places we do develop or produce designs. Design is still developed by our buyers, which are the fashion retailers, and given to us, and we produce accordingly. Digital fashion, virtual prototyping, and the software tools available nowadays on the market give an ample opportunity to tap this market, going to the design phase, developing design, because 3D design, you develop a pattern and then visualize in 3D garment, and then you can show your design to buyer. So sampling becomes quite simple and matter of minutes only. And we have got a lot of talents in Bangladesh, a lot of creative minds. So employing them, bringing them in this sector, creating design as per the demand of the international market, and offering this virtual product or virtual catwalk or virtual samples to buyer to choose from. And if any of them get chosen by the buyer, and then you are selling design, your product, and also you are keeping your buyer hooked to you for future. So that's the key thing that I see when it comes to this use of digital tool. But unfortunately, the fact is, like everywhere in the world, there is always a resistance when it comes to technology adoption. And in our case, from my experience, because I worked in the apparel industry in Bangladesh, in the buying sector in Bangladesh as well in my early career, and we always see that in Bangladesh there is a buyer syndrome. We adopt technology when buyer pushes us. We are never uh, on the leadership side of implementing innovation or developing innovation. We are always the follower. I'm telling this because my PhD was on developing 3D prototyping tools for the fashion industry back in 2010, 11, 12. This Glow 3D, Style 3D, this kind of software tools were not available. At Manchester University, I used those tools which are used for automobile industry or aerospace industry, but it still got some 3D simulation component in it to apply for the fashion industry and to provide evidence that this kind of simulation can be done, and also applied for the apparel industry. I did publications, and I see this the Glow 3D, Style 3D, this kind of tools use or include the features that I suggested out of my PhD work. And during that time, as I worked in the buying sector in Bangladesh, in the buying houses, and worked for international retailers, I started to communicate to my colleagues, Bangladeshi colleagues who were working in the buying house or the garments factory, and have been suggesting them that go for it, be the leader of adopting this kind of tool instead of waiting for buyer to push you to take it. But they didn't respond at all. But then after the COVID pandemic, when we all started using digital tools and focusing more and more on digitalizations, then my friends are started to come back to me. Which tool should I take? Is Glow 3D better than Style 3D, or this kind of thing? But then it was too late. China and our neighboring countries were well ahead of us adopting these tools. In Bangladesh, we have started using Glow 3D, in many factories are using now, but they are still exploiting the fundamental things of it. They are not investigating or exploring how the creative bit can be found and extracted out of it, and then buyer can be attracted through innovative designs, so that we can move into that concept of business, that's design, product, and shipment. So that's what I want to say for time being, but I will elaborate this in course of time during the discussion.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's great. So I know if I just, before I go to the industry expert, Mr. Mustafiz, I'm just wondering about one particular thing that when we talk about this kind of innovation, barriers, and so on, what role the government can play, what role the other stakeholders can play. Can they actually, you are talking about the buyers, pressure from the buying house, pressure from the broader kind of community thing, but these are the stakeholders which actually have immense power to get things done. So what do you think? Did you hear my
Dr. Sayem, I think you need to respond to this.
did you?
Okay, buyers, sorry, government's influence in adopting the technology. Okay,
Yeah.
right. The software tools, the Style 3D is getting very popular next to Glow 3D. The software is being developed in China. The software Glow 3D is developed in Korea. In the recent past, we saw the software tools like Lectra, Gerber, Optitex. Those were all European or American systems. Now these tools have been, the market has been taken by the Koreans and the in Chinese. In Bangladesh, we are talking about this IT sectors for long. We are talking about exporting software tools. I asked this a few years back to the president of BASIS, which is the Bangladesh software associations, and represent the software sector, IT sector. They couldn't tell that how much software we import in Bangladesh and the value of this. But all of our garment factories are using different type of software tools. And we have got plenty of universities with computer science degrees. We have never focused on developing software tools, homegrown software tools or homegrown IT tools for our Apple industry. Instead, we always focusing on buying this expensive stuff from abroad. So when it comes to government's focus, I would say this is one of the key area they can prioritize that will support both our IT sector as well as the apparel sector to develop and modifying existing software tools or developing new tools that will fit our apparel industry better, and also bringing the expert from the IT sectors and garment sector together so that we can develop tools and system that will enhance the creativity, design development, production efficiency, and the sustainability aspects. Indices could be measured and improved. Those kind of tools to develop and provide and make available for the industry. That's the thing I can see. Not only just learning the foreign system and implementing it, rather coming out with homegrown solutions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for your insight about this very important area, digital technology and digital transformation. So now I think I would like to look at the industry view and let us try to bring in the voice of the industry leadership here, turning ideas into implementation. And we have ideas, we have policies, but finally, we actually look at the industry, the people, those who actually transform the thing from nothing to something. So, and that is why I actually value their, contribution. So, as an apex body, BGMEA provides leadership in Bangladesh ready-made garments industry. We know that, which promotes export, sustainability, and value creation. It also drives innovation, compliance, and workforce development to strengthen global competitiveness. I am aware that BGMEA actually runs a center of excellence so that we can do well across all these areas in terms of value creation, in terms of innovation, and so on. So Mr. Sheikh H.M. Mustafiz is both an industry leader and BGMEA director, which is a very important position. And may I request him at this point to give his insight about the dilemma the industry regularly face to balance between commercial realities and the growing call for sustainability and value creation. Mr. Mustafiz.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me in this webinar. Before I go to my point, actually, I'd like to respond to things about from Mr. Ayub Khan that even though the BUFT is supplying a lot of good, students to the industry, and you have a lot of schemes, but we are still struggling with the quality education. I can say that it is not. We are still struggling with the high quality education from the students, and I don't know what to do, but because I'm not the right person to comment on that, but we are still struggling. That I can comment on that. And I also wanted to respond to Robert that yeah, we like to go for a lot of diversification. We would like to be self-sufficient with our raw material, but if you see the total scenario, like the energy security, the FDIs, the local entrepreneur are not interested to invest anymore because of the political instability. So a lot of things that is actually creating the bottleneck to move forward. We are also going for the LDC graduation, so there are a lot of things we have to comply with. I mean, a lot of things are, in front of us that we need to manage, and then we can move forward. So there are a lot of opportunities for sure, but we are really struggling a lot. Let's come to the point, actually. Even though we are in a challenging situation, we have a lot of challenges globally, internally, but I also feel myself very optimistic, and I'm trying to find out the opportunities, what we can do to elevate the situation, whatever we have right now. So I can recommend few things. For example, as a I'm not saying I'm an industry leader. I'm just trying to understand how can I lead better to motivate people and to understand how the people can do better. So, and I'm also a manufacturer. I'm trying to find out the niche where I can do better. So that is I like to share some of the things what I am actually doing by myself. For example, if I talk about the how we can balance the commercial reality and sustainability and create the evolution. I think that is the thing is that the mindset is very, very important. I found that the dual mindset, for example, we always talk about the financial profit and loss account, but if you practice sustainability, there is also a profit and loss account over there. So if you don't practice the sustainability, you will see some losses which you cannot see. But if you do the practice, you can see some profits. So if we know that how we can do the measurement of the sustainability KPIs and parameters, then I'm sure we'll find some area that where we can earn more money. But always we find that sustainability is a burden to us. It's like a regulations, and it's a full of the pressure from the buyers and from the government, from the regulatory bodies. But actually, when I started practicing this thing, when I invested by myself, I also found that it is very interesting that I can save a lot of money. By investing on solar panel, I investing on the recycling the water, I recycling the wastages I'm generating from the cutting room, and I'm converting to the new yarn and all the things that all are saving money and also creating value on the when I'm selling to them to the customers, because sustainability is not only a tool that is also saving your money, but also it is creating a marketing tool for us. Because when I are going to the brands, it becomes another tool for us to saying that, hey, this is not the product we are doing, but we also have this and this kind of things to talk about, and this storyline is also a good selling point to us. So this is how actually we can definitely move on, and we can create more values. But I would like to mention a few other things. For example, um, if we talk about the the cost of the production, I think now it is the time to talk about the value of the production. For example, whether it's the quality of the product, the reliability of the product, the delivery, the speed, the compliance risk, the brand safety. A lot of things are actually integrated into the system. So most of the cases we always talk about the price, but if we can add those values in the ecosystem, then actually we can create more value, and then we can create a long-term partnership with the buyers. That is the missing part. I think we are really not practicing. In general. So some of us who are doing these things, we are actually getting benefit out of it. So, and if I talk about uh, other things. For example, recently there are a lot of issues coming up with the from the European Union about the legislation, like a CS triple D, like all the due diligence laws and all the law about the digital product passport and all the things. I think these laws are an opportunity for us. If we can create some, ecosystem into our production, then we can create more values on it. But end of the day, what is the thing is, as Dr. Sayem correctly said that when until and unless the buyers are pushing to us, we are not doing anything. So if we can do something upfront as a front line runner, I think then we can definitely create a lot of values. It is not that we don't know that how to do the marketing. We don't know how to do the design. But if we can create them, and if we can sell them, then there is a lot of opportunity we can do together, and we can definitely go beyond what we are actually producing right now. So that is from me right at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it's a fantastic commentary that you have made, but at the same time, we feel a bit, alarmed to know that we have a lot of problems. Still, there are a lot of challenges we are facing. And one particular thing that you have mentioned, we know that you, the factory owners, you are still spending a lot of money on expatriate experts that you have already mentioned. And what Professor Ayub Nabi Khan has mentioned, that they are actually trying their best to provide the best education, possible. So still there is a gap. So this gap, actually, before I get back to you, I would like to get back to Professor Ayub Nabi Khan to tell me something about it, that whether we can have a mechanism, because together with BGMEA, BGMEA has been maintaining a center of excellence for quite some time. Unfortunately, BUFT is not a part of that center of excellence, as far as I know. It could be now, I don't know. And this collaboration is very important. Is there any gap we can actually mitigate, say, BUET, BGMEA, BUFT, other technology universities or engineering universities? Can we have a consortium where we can focus on RMG specific skills? Dr. Ayub Nabi Khan.
Yeah, that is very important actually, because the collaboration is very much important. We are talking about from the stakeholder part, the industrialists, that we are not getting good graduates from the universities. Not only BUFT, there is other universities also, because this is the common scenario you are talking about. But what the role, I think, because I should also mention this, what role the industrialists shall play, for overcome this situation. They are talking about these things, that because you see, when the graduates are entering in the university, in the industry, is there any specified structured training system is there? It is not there, because when they enter into the industry has always want that the result from them immediately. But that should not be the case. There should be the training center in the industries. They should give the orientation for some time. Because I can give you one example what we do, because I have an experience in one of the leading industry. I worked 7 years in the Beximco group, and what we do there, we have a training center. We recruited the new graduates, and we trained them for 3 months, and then we put the graduates into the specific areas. That should be the approach in most of the industries, but some of the industries have started this approach and they are getting results. I think all the industries should, because I have also chance to visit, in India and in some other Asian countries. I have seen in the industry, they are taking these steps, and they have research cell, they have this, these things, and the qualified people are engaging in this research area. And in our country, this research is also very much absent. So all need to be sit together. There are, we are talking about in different programs, different platform. We are, they're saying this we are not getting. We are saying we are not getting support, but we should be in one page and think like this, because in China, it is working very effectively. 3 helix, the system. That means industry, academia, and government. That should be the, the approach for the betterment of the.
Can I just say here, because of the time, I'm just sorry
So
to.
that and another important thing is that,
Yeah.
you know, still we have not that structured, you know, the how much offer you will offer for our graduates. There are so many variations, you know, when they enter into the industry, because I, I am, you know, they're getting this information from my graduates. And another important thing, you know, the value addition in some of the industry. I visited some of the industry recently, and I have seen our graduates are working very closely to in creative fashion, using their creativity, and in a small scale they are exporting to the buyer. So this I can give share my experience with you.
Thank you so much. Just one thing that here I feel important is that we prepared the roadmap. If you remember, Professor Khan, that I was leading that roadmap for Bangladesh RMG industry. I think it was we submitted it to the Prime Minister a few years ago, and we actually came up with a number of priority areas, and skills development was one of the key priority areas. And while we, of course, we mentioned that this collaborative approach should be there, and the other problem is that the inventory should be made, that which skill is more important. It is not always technical skill. Mr. Mustafiz will know that it is not always technical skills. When you actually use people in the buying houses, communication, correspondence, soft skill. One, we are talking about the hard skill. Soft skill is very important. How do you develop that, Mr. Mustafiz?
I'd like to respond to Professor Ayub first about the challenge we have when we receive I mean let me start from the interview point of view. For example, when we interview the new graduates, the problem is that we found that they don't have the enough knowledge which should be the learning from the university, not we should not be trained to them some basic things that they should be learning from the university. That is our problem, because they are not I mean, as you said, already mentioned that regarding this some soft skills. For example, if they are weak in English communication, I don't have that capacity to teach them the English. This is not the English training center. So, for example, like something like that. So also some basic things, some basic information about the industry, about the product, about the fabric. When you ask this question, I think they learn these things only to pass the exam, because that's the typical problem we are facing. So even though we are giving them the training, but still it is taking long time to make them industry compatible, because we have to train them a lot of basic things as well. So that is our main complaint, that they should be learning more thing, I mean more quality education, so that they should not learn only for to pass the exam. So but it is true that we have a less cooperation with the academia and industry. I think, sometime we are investing a lot of things in the machines, and we are investing a lot of, I mean, for the infrastructure and a lot of things. But it is very often that we invest for the training and to educate our people. That is also true. That is another lackings we have in industry. But it is also true that if we can have some kind of cooperation, if the academia exactly know that what's the skill set actually we're in need all the time, then probably they can update their curriculum. Mr. Ayub already acknowledged that to update the curriculum is also not an easy process. It has a bureaucratic problem, that it has to go to the UGC, and there is a lot of issues. So if that can be removed, I think then definitely we can work together and we can improve the situation.
Oh, thank you very much. I think at this stage,
And I add something about this skill development here, if you allow me a few minutes.
please go ahead.
Okay, our apparel industry produces a product for international market, and for our graduates, it's important to know or experience the taste of the international consumers and the buyers to be able to produce according to their requirements. But our educational institutions as well as our industry never offered this opportunity to our youngsters to come abroad, spend few weeks, and get the taste of the international market, and go back and implement this at home, which is being done by the other countries, India, Pakistan, Sri Lankans. They are sending their students for a few weeks to months to our universities, but that's never been done in Bangladesh. When it comes to this point, we have never money, but we know that billions of dollars have been siphoned out of Bangladesh. So plenty of money is there, but when it comes to training of youngsters, we don't have any money. Our universities are active, proactive, like Professor Khan. They come to our university and wants to do collaboration, but in most of the case, the demand from the Bangladesh side is to offer free scholarship, free things to them from the international side. But you have to understand that universities in the UK and Europe, they are not the donating agency. They won't do it for free without their benefits. So if you want to get your students trained, you have to have a budget to send them regular basis to Europe and America and Australia, get them have some experience from that side, from the buyers, from the society, from the market, and collaboration with the students in those countries who will be in future the buyers of our country. And by doing this, you can improve everything: the communication skills, their confidence, their taste, which they can apply to produce market for the international product for the international market. So this have never happened. Money has never been there for this kind of things. We are lagging behind seriously in these sectors. Sri Lankans are doing collaboration with British universities regular basis. They do send their students. Even the Pearl Academy from India send their students to UK to spend certain amount of time, months or years, on their own funding, not with scholarship from the UK government or the UK universities. But have we ever done this in Bangladesh? But we know that there are a lot of money for the government officials to go for pleasure trip outside. So yeah, just to mention that we have to change your mindset.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Sadat. There is a saying that there is no free lunch. You will have to pay for it somehow.
Yeah.
So we always want if you want free lunch all the time, then you will remain hungry anyway. Nobody will feed you. So, and then I think this is a very important thing. The other thing, of course, rather than going too much into details about that, I think someone blames our education system entirely, because these are the product of the broader education system. Professor Ayub Nabi Khan cannot create someone or develop someone who has very weak language skills or communication skills, but they have very good GPA 5 on the score. So that is a problem as well. Anyway, rather than going backward, we have some questions now from our audience. We are very happy to receive a lot of questions. I know that given the limited time, we cannot respond to all of them. So we have picked up some. There is one question asked by Engineer Mesbauddin, Head of Marketing. He asked that question to Bob. We see buyers always want good products, but they offer low prices. To ensure value-based production, we need fair prices. Who will ensure it, Bob? Not
Thanks,
you.
Sharif. No. We're better than that. I think it's interesting. The retail community always wants everything for less money, right? So it's a real problem. But again, I think where I've seen things work effectively is that the relationships have to be substantial. There has to be a real partnership between supplier and buyer. And I'm not just saying the usual marketing spin there. It actually works. It has to be a two-way street. There has to be a way for everyone to make money. And the only way where that starts is, frankly, a relationship. It's a very simple business. type of relationship, and that has to build trust, and then there has to be a mechanism whereby the profit can be shared, particularly if you're working with with buying houses and so on. All that has to be shared. If you're a direct buyer, say out of the U.S. or out of Europe, again, it has to be seen as a partnership, not just some sort of one-off. Here's a stock lot purchase type of thing. So it has to. That's essential. That's essential. Without that, it's going to be in this kind of an environment, very difficult otherwise to make any money out of it.
Thank you so much, Bob. Another question which is coming from Mamunur Rashid. How can we develop the R&D culture in our RMG sector, and how we will face upskilling workforce in the future, basically? It is a question for Professor Ayub Nabi Khan.
I always try to emphasize on this area, because without research and development, how can we improve? How can we innovate? That is very important, because we are talking about the value addition of our garments. We are still concentrating on cotton-based product. We are not even shipped from cotton-based to man-made in any other areas, because only 25% of the world fiber production is cotton. And under 75% is the man-made fiber, all these things, and high performance fiber. So we need to concentrate on these areas also, because research and development is very much essential, introduced in our the factories, and not only in RMG. It should be in primary textile sector as well, because we have to invest, we have to engage the academia in these areas. We are always, when we are talking about with the industrialist or with the CEOs of the industry, we are discussing these issues, that engage our academics, engage our faculty in students in new problem areas, and we can do something better for your industry, because it is a win-win situation. We can learn a lot from your industry, and we can contribute from our part to for the development of the industry. You see, Sharif, Professor Sharif is also known about that, because in RMIT, I have seen, you have shown us different, the areas of your laboratories and investment from the industry side. In Manchester University, from where I graduate my master's and PhD, I have seen Mark Spencer, Coates, Viola. They have invested the professorship over there, millions dollars, pounds sterling invested in university, and graduates are engaged. Some PhDs obtained from this type of things, and industry eventually benefited from this area. So collaboration is very, very important, as you mentioned, and that's why the Bangladesh recently recognized this government. That there is a program, CCIP. This is a skill for industry competitiveness and innovation program. So in that project, they have set up, they have some fund for industry-based research, and they are trying to engage industry and academia in these activities. Already,
Yes, thank you.
94 projects have already been submitted, and it is under process. Maybe in near future, this is a starting point of this important area, and as a whole, industry will be benefited. The most important thing, as you said that there is a roadmap. You have rightly mentioned, and this is one of the very significant step that time. So now what we should also concentrate, because there is no actually strategic planning for long-term strategic planning for the development of RMG and textile sector. Say for 10 years, what would be the vision? In which way we want to look our garments industry, textile industry to be in that stage. So in that case, the BGMEA, universities, the other stakeholder, BTMA, BKMA, all together need to sit and make a work plan. Maybe one task force may be set up, and together we can do something better for the RMG industry's development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Khan. Just, I think the roadmap is important. You have referred to it. Maybe we need to revamp the previous roadmap and update it. Now there is another question coming from Mr. Akib Javed, who is saying that what is the current use of AI in textile and RMG sector? Where is Bangladesh? Mr. Sadat Sayem.
Right. This kind of questions are commonly asked. But before that, we have to understand what is AI and how can we use AI. The best thing is to, using AI as our assistant, as our, sort of supporting hand for making decisions. There are a few software tools available when it comes to design, when it comes to, doing some, production related activity, for example, inspection. So there are AI tools being implemented. But we can't 100% rely on AI. AI alone will not do, so this is a wrong conception. AI alone will not do any benefit for us. So if we, the human being, can utilize AI efficiently, only then we'll get benefit out of it. So that blindly saying that we need to implement AI to increase our productivity or anything, that doesn't happen anyway. But few software tools are coming, so we need to get our youngsters trained so that they can better use them, adopt them, and then can take informed decisions at what stage and what level those tools can be used in the industry. And only by doing that we can get the benefit out of AI.
Thank you so much. So last question I'm picking up from a list of many questions. Actually, we are sorry that we cannot actually respond to all the questions. Our panelists have limited time. We have limited time. That is, what should be the top 3 priorities for Bangladesh RMG? RMG's new vision, sustainability, technology, or human capital development? I would request Mr. Mustafiz to respond to this question.
I think the answer lies into the questions. He already mentioned that the sustainability, technology, and human capital development. So these are the things actually we need. But on the top of everything, actually, I need to say again that I think when you talk about sustainability, it is still people are still thinking that it is an investment, it is a burden, it's a pressure from the buying side, from the demand side. It is not. You need to understand that it's a mindset, it's a business process that where you can actually earn money. It is not an expenditure. It's a long-term investment that you can say, but it is not actually an expenditure. It is the integrated system into the business that will elevate your business to the next level. So that is the thing. I think when we understand these things, then we can uplift ourselves to the next level. Otherwise, it will be always remain a challenge for us. It will always remain a pressure for us, and then we will never go on the direction. I am a sustainability practitioner, I can say that one. By saying that things, I can tell you that I'm getting really a lot of leverages by practicing all the things. If you have a chance to visit our factory, we made a dashboard. Every day you can see that how much water actually we are using, how much water we are recycling, how much energy we are using, how much energy we are generating from our solar panel. Every information, every data point is over there. So you can easily see that how you are actually performing. So if you have the KPIs, if your factory is data driven, then you can easily see what is your problem and where should you make the development. If we can run our factory more like a data-driven factory, I believe there should not be an issue to understand what is our problem, and then we will find the remedies. The remedies are over. I think there are a lot of companies are offering a lot of things, as Mr. Sayem already said, that they are coming up with a lot of solutions, but we need to understand our problem first, then probably we can find the solution and we can invest on that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Professor Sharif, just one question to Robert. Would you please allow me to that?
Please do,
Yeah.
because we are running out of
Yeah. Just a very
Yeah.
simple question. Because you see,
Yeah.
we are talking about pricing. You are always getting pressure from the buyer. We are investing a lot. The industrialists are investing a lot. transforming from one safety to another safety, another issue, and there are a lot of compliance issues. So the rep is saying one, HM is saying one, another one is saying one. So there are different type of compliance issues. We should what we can do, what from our side or from the buyer side, what need to be the give importance on this price issue. Why we are not getting? Because we are investing a lot. Our industrialists are investing a lot to transforming from one step to another. You see, to develop the RMG and textile industry. We are spending a lot of money in this sort of cases. So that need to be considered from the buyer side as well, because we are, producing the items and we are exporting to the world market. So that also need to be considered, I believe.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's you can't sugarcoat it. It's a significant problem. But I have to say in the short run, until this tariff situation gets sorted out, until that settles down, everything that you'll be seeing from buyers is going to be very price sensitive. I mean, out of necessity. I mean, the markups now, or not markups, the additional costs that are brought in by tariffs at this point are terrible. And the fact of the matter is, they're going to be leaning on partners. They're going to be leaning on manufacturers to help with this. And as a result, for the moment, larger margins it's just going to be very difficult to envision. So that's just realism right now. Once that lifts, once those get out of the system, once that gets sorted out, and it appears as though there is some sign of it getting sorted out, once that happens, then I think we can have that dialogue again in terms of what's the best way. And again, for me, it always comes back to partnerships. It's not a question of just buying off a shelf. It's a partnership. Okay.
Can I add one thing
Yeah,
this?
yeah, just
So
I think what we can, yes,
as an
please go
industrialist,
ahead.
we must know how to say no. That is the thing we need to learn. We still did not learn how to say no. This is one thing. And then second thing, that we have to stop unplanned investment. We are doing a lot of unplanned investment. I mean, we don't know that the next year we'll get that order or not. When the buyer promised something, we just started investing, building up new capacity. So this is overcapacity is our big problem. So we have to stop there. We need to know how to manage these things first, then to further investment. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Actually, I was coming to another point though, because but given the time that we have, we need to finish soon. Given the inaugural session, we are a bit flexible here. We are, testing the ground as well, right? So before we wrap up, may I now invite each of our distinguished panelists to share a brief, only 1 minute afterthought on today's discussion, or your key takeaways, or final reflection. I would like to start with Professor Dr. Engineer Ayub Nabi Khan. 1 minute, Dr. Khan.
Yeah. Thank you again, Professor Sharif bhai. The main important things, as you mentioned, the three things need to be very important. So I put the human resource development is number one, and then other two, sustainability and the other things.
Technology.
So that is very important, because without human resource development, who will run the show? You see, who will run the industry? All from the foreign expatriate, they will run our industry. Would that be any belongings to in that case? Our graduates, if we invest on our graduate, train them, skill them, and make them appropriate together with the academia and industry, it will be give you they will be the asset, in the long run. So we should have that commitment from our side, from the industrial side. I think that will be better for the development of RMG and textile industry in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Robert Antoshak.
Thank you, Sharif.
1
You know,
minute.
one of the things that I was really intrigued by today's discussion was about the education and the fact that I feel it's super important for Bangladesh to develop exchange programs with the schools in the U.S. and in Europe. And in particular, again, I think of programs where classes are actually switched for semesters between the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York and in India. Okay, those things are incredibly valuable, and that'll help to bring up the next generation of leaders coming from Bangladesh, because that understanding, that international understanding, is really critical.
Dr. Sayem, please.
I will 100% echo Bob's suggestions, and also want to make an appeal to BGMEA through our panelist, Mr. Mustafiz, to take it to the BGMEA board and make a decision that next 1 year, if they can sponsor at least 100 young graduates or students to send abroad in Europe and America to spend certain amount of times and bringing them home to employ in the industry, that could be a great initiative to start with, I would say.
Yes, that should be to BGMEA and to the government. That's what I believe. Mr. Mustafiz, please.
Okay, thank you very much for this offer, and I will see that what we can do. Definitely, it's an important. I think I'm also a part of the exchange program in USA. Actually, I was a professional fellow of State Department. So I had an exchange program at University of Oklahoma in 2012. So I understand the importance of this. But other than this, I think as an industrialist, we really need the congenial atmosphere. I mean, the good ground where actually we can feel safe to invest further, to develop further. That is, we are still struggling. The political situation need to be really stable, so that we can see the FDIs, because there are a lot of I mean opportunities. I can see there are a lot of countries they are interested to invest in Bangladesh, and they are waiting for the next election or something like this. So that's the thing actually we are looking forward. Also, the energy security is very, very important for us. Crucial days we are going on. I mean, in Gazipur, we heard about that. They are like 7 to 8 hours that they are out of electricity. So there are a lot of things that are happening. So we really need some good, intervention from the government so that we can get over from this situation. But definitely, we are all optimistic, and I believe we are on our way, and we will be moving forward further.
I should add one thing with Mr. Mustafiz, because I found him, very visionary. Because nowadays the BGME is running by a very, the young, talented businessman, you have that vision. I think it is possible to go like this. What our panelists are saying, and invest. If you invest on education, the return will be more in the long run. Internal rate of return is more than other areas. So I think that would be excellent for all of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What a rich and enlightening session it has been. I must thank all of you, all our panelists, Professor Engineer Ayub Nabi Khan, Mr. Robert Antoshak, Dr. Abu Sadat Muhammad Sayem, and Mr. Sheikh Mustafiz for sharing your time and wisdom.